It's senior night in Monroeville, Pennsylvania, as the Gateway Gators host the Armstrong Riverhawks in a WPIAL WPIAL 2A Section 2 matchup. Adam Gusky filling in for Spencer Witt on the call for you this evening here at Gateway High School. Good to have you along with us. The Gateway Gators 4-2 within the conference. Meanwhile, Armstrong 0-6 on the year in their conference. The Gators come off of a 3-1 victory this past Thursday against Derry. Last time Armstrong played in conference, they lost at home to Mars 3-2. They did participate in the Hempfield tournament over the weekend, where they made it to the silver semis against Hempfield. However, the Gateway Gators not only played against Derry last Thursday, but also played in conference a week and a day ago against Derry. On Monday last week here at this gym, and then last Tuesday a non-conference game against the McKeesport Tigers. Gateway wears their home white uniforms with the black bottoms. Meanwhile, the Riverhawks wear their blue fading down to orange tops with the black bottoms. On the left side of your screen are the Gateway Gators. The right side are the Armstrong Riverhawks. Good to have you along with us this evening here in Monroeville, Pennsylvania, for this section matchup, which will hopefully help the Gateway Gators find their way into the WPIAL playoffs for the second year in a row, as they currently are the reigning section champions. A section championship brought to Monroeville a year ago, and we are set to get this one underway as the Gators will serve left to right. It's Keegan Kuiper serving it up and over. Attacked by the Riverhawks, and a kill to the back corner for Jackson Claypole. And Armstrong takes the early lead 1-0. Sam Dosh serves for Armstrong. Set up by the Gators. Attack coming from the far sideline, and a kill for the Gators comes from Noah Pasalenko, one of two pregame honorees in today's senior ceremony. William Hansman, 5'10" junior for the Gators, will now serve. Knuckler falls its way in near the middle line. Attack, and the Gators are able to dig it up and set it over the net. And a nice attack, leaping up and touching it over. Rafe Hankey, sophomore for Armstrong, and the Riverhawks take a 2-1 lead, as it's Jackson Claypool now serving for the Riverhawks. The Gators bring it back the other way, dug up and over, and the Gators into the net, and Armstrong will stretch their lead to 3-1. Dug up by Gateway, and an attack and a huge kill up over the net goes Noah Pasalenko. And the Gators cut the deficit down to 1, as Andre Williams, the other senior honored before today's game, the defensive specialist wearing the libero jersey, serves it up and over. Attack to the back corner for the Riverhawks. The Gators dig it up. Attack goes long for Gateway, and a point for Armstrong, as the Riverhawks stretch the lead to 4-2. As Rafe Hankey will serve for Armstrong, they'll sub in a player, and is checking in is Aiden McKay. So again, Hankey serves. And his serve into the net, and the Gators trail by just 1, as it'll be Noah Pasalenko to serve for the Gators. Armstrong again subbing in. This time coming in is Nathan Rossenberger, as he subs out Max for Manning. Serve up and over for the Gators by Pasalenko. Attack by the Riverhawks, dug up by the Gators libero. Attack from the far side. Net shaken. And the antenna went, but the officials did not blow the whistle on the antenna. Attack by Gateway, that'll go out. So regardless of the net by the Gators, it's still a point for Armstrong as they hit the attack out on that far side. And Brennan Savinda, the sophomore, will serve. Williams with the dig. Attacked by Dunsmore. Gators bring it back again. Another attack. And a kill for Armstrong. As that ball along the line, Andre Williams lets it fall in, and a point for the Riverhawks. They take a 6-3 lead as Savinda continues to serve. Attacked by the Gators, Hoffner. Dug up by the Riverhawks, and again the Gators go on the attack. Hoffner again touching that one over. And a kill for Gateway. Good reverse set by the Gators, setting up Jace Beam to knock that one to the far sideline. And Gateway down by just 2 here as Beam will serve. He gets the honors after scoring the point for the Gators. Again, Gateway 4-2 within the section. Armstrong has yet to win a section game this season as that serve up and over for Beam. Beam will dig this up for the Gators. Hoffner with the attack. Knocked to the back line by the Riverhawks. And a beautiful set, setting up Alex Dunsmore, who gets the kill. And Beam continues to serve for the Gators. 5'11" junior. Ace for Gateway as Sam Jacobs can't get the clean dig, and that ace for the Gators ties the game at 6-all. Knocked over by the Riverhawks off of the Beam serve, and again Dunsmore with the attack. 2 Riverhawks there, but they can't knock it back cleanly, and the kill for Dunsmore gives the Gators their first lead. Beam continuing to serve. Serve with the left hand. And a swing and a miss on the attack going up high for the Riverhawks was Jonas Starr. He couldn't hit that one cleanly, and then the Riverhawks not able to clean it up and over. And a lead of 2 now for the Gators. Attack this time into the net for Nate Roethlisberger and Rosenberger. Nathan Rosenberger, the 6'5" junior for the Riverhawks, not able to attack that one cleanly, and a 3-point lead for Gateway. Feigning back for the attack, McKay, and the Gators look to answer back, but the hit is out by Hoffner, and it's Armstrong point as they cut the Gators lead down to 2, 9-7. As Sam Jacobs will serve for the Riverhawks. They're going to call a lift against the Gators over here on the near side. A late whistle came in from the R1. They call the lift, and the illegal hit by the Gators gives Armstrong the serve with a 1-point deficit. Attack by Dunsmore, dug up nicely by the Riverhawks. The Gators have to scramble to get back. Strong attack to the far side by Hansman. Another attack, looked like our Riverhawks were under the net. The officials don't catch it. Attack into the net by the Gators' Ryan Hoffner, and we're tied at 9-all. As the Riverhawks on a bit of a run here, after the Gators went on a run to take their first lead. Nice block at the net for the Riverhawks. Aiden Cochran in there. Also in Lucas Hunter, that was Rosenberger in there for the Riverhawks with Jake Jackson Claypool. Cochran on the Gators roster at number 10. Big attack there, going up strong. Dunsmore, Alec Dunsmore, a reserve forward on the basketball team, plays strong along that front line for the Gators volleyball team. Dunsmore served. set up nicely, but the attack short by Jackson Claypool into the net, and the Gators reclaim the lead 11-10 here in set number 1. Point for the Gators as Armstrong out of rotation. And the rotational error by the Riverhawks will give the Gators a point. The officials iron everything out. And Dunsmore, the serve short this time, didn't hit that one cleanly. As for the Gators, the libero comes back in, and Andre Williams. And serving for the Riverhawks, Nathan Rosenberger. Serve goes long. So the service error by the Riverhawks, and it's a point for the Gators, taking the lead back to 2, as it will be Williams serving for Gateway. Dug up by the Riverhawks. Attack by McKay. The Gators look to take it back the other way. Leaping up strong, knocking it through 2 defenders. Noah Pasalinkwa, the senior. And serving for Gateway is Keegan Kuiper, a defensive specialist for Gateway, not wearing the libero jersey tonight. Knocked long by the Riverhawks. Aiden McKay with that error for Armstrong. And a timeout taken by Armstrong. As their coaches need to talk things over here. That'll give Philip Randolph an opportunity to talk to his team as well. Randolph, the head coach of the Gateway Gators. There's the headband every game. English teacher here at Gateway High School. Before the game, he was proud to present a new addition to the gym here, as the Gateway Gators won the section championship a year ago. Speaking of sections, let's take a look at WPIAL 2H Section 1. North Catholic up on top of that section with a record of 8-1. The Bridgers, who knocked the Gators out of the playoffs a year ago, 7-2. Hopewell 5-2. Montour 6-3 on the season. So by percentage, they are back behind Hopewell. Ulsh 2-6, Bishop Canevin 1-7, and the Beaver County Christian Eagles round out Section 1 at 0-8. Winless, just like the Armstrong Riverhawks, will go on the attack there and knock it long. The error by Armstrong stretches the Gators' lead to 5. Beautiful serve coming from Gateway's Keegan Kuiper, but dug up nicely by the Riverhawks, and that sends us into a rally as it's dug up by Gateway, knocked over by the Gators on the front line. It's Santo. Big attack, but a block by the Gators. Claypool with the attack. The Gators were there to answer with the block. Santo with another teammate up on that front line. It's the block and stretches the Gators' lead to a half dozen. Another block for Gateway. Stays up though. And then with a second attack for the Gators, it's William Hansman who gets the kill for Gateway. And that continues the run for the Gators, who are now up 18-11. Serve on the back line. Ace for Gateway's Keegan Kuiper. And Gateway up big here, 19-11. Dug up by the Riverhawks. Attack goes far side. Beautiful dig for Gateway's Keegan Kuiper. Pushed down at the net by Jackson Claypool, and a point the first time in a while for the visitors, the Armstrong Riverhawks. And serving for Armstrong is Sam Dosh. Dug by the Gators. 2 Riverhawks there at the net to get the block, as it was Brendan Savinda alongside of Jackson Claypool to get that block on Gateway's Jake Santo. Dug by Gateway's Williams. Attacked by the Gators. And a kill for Noah Pasalinkwa. So the Gators will serve, and it's Will Hansman serving for Gateway. Attack, big one there by Claypool. Gators under the net. And Armstrong the point. And Gateway was way under the net. I actually caught it out of my peripheral vision. Good call there, cost the Gators a point. And it'll be Jackson Claypool serving for the Riverhawks. Pasalinkwa with the attack on the net far side. Gators up by 7, 21-14. It's Andre Williams, the libero today, serves for the Gators. Knuckler to the middle line. Gators dig up a shifty attack by the Riverhawks. Gateway takes it the other way. Riverhawks bring the attack near side. It went long. Williams kept it up though. Attack Pasalinkwa and another Gator point. Gators up by 8. 3 away from winning set 1. Attack by the Riverhawks. Dug up by Kuiper. Gators couldn't get that one onto the other side of the net, so a point for the Riverhawks. The serving is Rafe Henke, the sophomore. Gators up 7 though. Henke the serve, dug up by the Gators. Attack Pasalinkwa. And the Gators with the kill. It's Pasalinkwa feeding it down in front of the 2 blockers at the net for Armstrong. And serving for Gateway is Pasalinkwa, 2 away from winning the set. Pasalinkwa, serve goes awry. And a point for Armstrong. Gators lead is back at 7, as it is Brendan Savinda to serve, sophomore outside hitter. R2 irons things out with the table, and here we go. Savinda's serve dug up by the Gators. Attack far side, knocked long by Ryan Hoffner, and a point for Armstrong. Dug up by the Gators after the serve by the Riverhawks. Again, the attack by the Riverhawks. That time it was Rosenberger. Rosenberger again with the dig. Attack to the back line. Gators not able to dig that one up as it was Echegari back at the back line. And that keeps Brendan Savinda serving. Dug up by the Gators again. Shifty at the net, Jace Beam sets it backwards and over the net. Attack by the Gators on the serve, nearly set point on the serve. And the shot is out, and the Gators on set point win the set 25-18. So Gateway takes a 1-0 lead here in this match against the Armstrong Riverhawks. Get Adam Gusky on the call for you this evening here at Gateway High School. Good to have you along with us. Time to take a look at the Gators section, where the Gators currently sit in 3rd place at 4-2 behind Latrobe, who's undefeated at 5-1, 5-0. Excuse me. Mars is 5-1. Their lone loss coming to the Latrobe Wildcats. Derry's 2-3. Deer Lake's 1-5. We talked about Armstrong being 0-6. And as it stands right now, the Gators would be in the playoffs if the season ended today, after winning the section and qualifying for the playoffs last season as well. Looking forward for Gateway. They're going to take on the aforementioned Latrobe team on Tuesday here at this gym. We will have the coverage for you. Spencer Witt scheduled to be back on the call for that big game between the Gators and the Latrobe Wildcats before the Gators wrap up the season on the road at Mars a week from Thursday. So Gateway certainly has their work cut out for them as we head to the last week of the season next week. And of course, they have to take on Deer Lakes in 2 days. Meanwhile, Armstrong, looking forward for them. It will be they'll be taking on Derry on Thursday, and then Deer Lakes on Tuesday, and then Latrobe on Thursday. And you saw popping up on the lower right-hand side of your screen, upcoming broadcast. Not only are we talking about next week, as the Gators will be taking on Latrobe in boys volleyball, but we've got boys lacrosse tomorrow night over at Pete Annamarino Stadium, as Vince Russo scheduled to be on the call for that broadcast. Tomorrow night, 6 o'clock, is the face-off for the Gators and the Trinity Hillers. And that'll pretty much wrap up our coverage for spring sports. Of course, we'll have coverage of Gateway graduation scheduled for May 31st over at Pete Annamarino Stadium. And then we'll be back next August for some football and more here on GatewayGatorProductions.com. It has been a pleasure to bring you games all season long. Such a talented crew. Our director, Lee Schaefer III. Our primary camera operator, Lee Schaefer Jr. And again, you can always visit our GatewayGatorProductions.com, where we not only have our live broadcast like our game this evening, but archives of every Gateway game that we have covered thus far, including some Gateway graduations as well. As the officials continue to iron everything out and we get set for set number 2. Gateway served to begin the first set, so it will be the Riverhawks serving for the second set. As the Riverhawks will sub in Sam Jacobs, their libero. And Gateway will sub in Andrew Williams, who is the libero in the gold jersey for the Gators this evening. Served long by Brendan Savinda. And Gateway takes a 1-0 lead. Racing the serve, Will Hansman for the Gators. Open spot found by Nathan Rosenberger for the Riverhawks, and we're tied at 1-0. Don't forget the Riverhawks took an early lead in set number 1, but the Gators stormed back, tied the game up, took a lead. The Riverhawks tied it back up, and after it was tied at 11-all, the Gators went on a big run, and it was all she wrote for that first set. Attack for Rosenberger. And a kill for the Riverhawks. 2-0 Armstrong. Excuse me, 2-1 Armstrong. As Jackson Claypool will serve. Far side it goes. Stopped at the net. Pasalinqua with the attack, stopped at the net again by the Riverhawks. Battle at the middle of the floor, and then it was knocked to the nearest side. William Hansman couldn't knock it cleanly for a teammate, and it will be Riverhawks with the ball and the lead. 3-1. Stopped at the net by the Gators. Leaping up and stalling that one, Mark DePalma, who will serve. DePalma, 6'2", the junior for Gateway. Dug by Gateway. Set back. Attack long. Jace Beam with the error for the Gators. Leif Henke serving for Armstrong now. Henke's serve carries to the back line, dug by the Gators. Soft set leads to a back corner attack and kill for Jacob Pulowski. And Pasalinkwa serves for the Gators. Pasalinkwa all the way to the back line, set by the Riverhawks. Attack and a kill for Nathan Rosenberger, the 6'5 junior who plays strong at the net for the visitors. Now Rosenberger to serve. (5-3) the score here in the second set. Gators up 1-0, but right now it's the Riverhawks up by 2 in the second frame. Gators settle the ball down after it sits on the top of the net. Attack far side, knocked up by the Riverhawks. Dug twice by Darius Farrar, knocked to the back line by the Riverhawks. Dug up by Gateway. Set again to Farrar. He tips that one over. Attack from the back line. Gateway keeps it up. An attack into the net by Chase Anthony for the Gators. And right now the Riverhawks doubling up Gateway 6-3. Similar story to what we saw in set 1. Back line it goes. Dug up by Williams. Farrar, his attack into the net. (7-3) the lead for Armstrong. Nathan Rosenberger set to serve. Farrar, the attack carries long. And another point for Armstrong. And the Riverhawks up 8-3. Last time we saw the Gators on this floor here on GatewayGatorProductions.com, it was a loss to the Mars Planets in 5 sets in that back and forth affair. Spencer Wood had the broadcast for that one. There's an attack by Farrar, knocked back by the Riverhawks. Kept at the net by Gateway. Again, Farrar far side. And he will kill that one into the arms of 2 Riverhawks. Out of bounds it goes. Gators ball and Gators point. As they cut the deficit down to 4. Serving for Gateway is Jace Beam. Sub in for Armstrong as well. Armstrong dug over by the libero at the midcourt line. Leaping up, hanging up there for quite some time, a Gator, but knocks it out of bounds, does Jacob Pulowski. And that'll send Sam Jacobs, the libero, back to serve for the Riverhawks, up by 5. Far side it goes. Strong attack from that far side. Diego Valentin Petrie with the kill for the Gators, and that'll set up Andre Williams to serve. Talked about Williams already, one of 2 seniors honored before tonight's match. Both he and Pasalinkwa headed to Robert Morris University as a kill. Up along the front for the Riverhawks. Subbing in and going back to serve, Sam Dosh. Comes in as a setter for the Riverhawks. Attack front line by the Gators, kept up by the Riverhawks though. Knocked back down by the Riverhawks. Battle at the net. Double hit by the Gators. Error there by Valentin Petrie. And a 6-point lead for the Riverhawks here in set number 2. While Armstrong is 0-6 on the year, they are no slouches. They took the Mars Planets, who are number 2 in the conference, to 5 sets. They and the Gators both taking Mars to 5 sets. As Farrar will serve after the lift by the Riverhawks. So the error for the Riverhawks, and the Gators go on the attack, and there's a touch there on this near side. The official wanted to confirm that Max Fermani touched it, and the line judge on the near side confirms the touch. She wasn't 100% sure that there was one, but it is confirmed. R1 tonight. She also a college volleyball official. This one is up in an attack by Claypool. Gators look to bring it back the other way. Pasalinkwa with the attack, kept up by the Riverhawks. Williams from the back line. Here comes Pasalinkwa. Dug up sky high into the ceiling. Riverhawks chuck it back to the near side. Again, Pasalinkwa with the attack. Dug up by Sam Jacobs. Attack goes far corner, Farrar. Attack by the Riverhawks. Hankey, his shot too long. They say a touch at the net by the Gators, and a kill for the Riverhawks. The Gators going to bring in a substitution. Keegan Kuiper checks in, as it's Brendan Savinda serving for the Riverhawks. Dug by Williams, and it hits off of the net. When the ball hits the gym dividing net on your side of the court, you can continue to play it. Should you hit it over and it hits the net dividing, or excuse me, the court dividing net on your opponent's side, then it's out. And that right there, just a simple serve into the net by Brendan Savinda. The serving error gives the Gators the point and cuts their deficit down to 5 as the Gators sub in. And we'll see William Hansman serve, 5'10" junior. Misjudging the attack, the Gators, but Gateway able to keep it alive and even dug up a nice attack by the Riverhawks. Another good dig by Kuiper, and a double hit by the Gators. Costs them another point, and several errors by Gateway, and the lead is back to 6 for the Riverhawks. Jackson Claypool serves. Error by the Gators there, as Pasalinkwa mistimed the jump. And Gateway needs to call a timeout here as Philip Randolph wants to talk to his team, and this will give the Armstrong Riverhawks an opportunity to talk about some strategy with this 7-point lead. Talked about Gateway looking in position for the playoffs, but of course that has to do with what other teams are doing in the WPIAL Class 2A. We'll take a look at Section 3, where the Seton LaSalle Rebels are undefeated atop that section. South Fayette is 7-1. Thomas Jefferson 6-3. The Trinity Hillers, whose boys lacrosse team comes to Gateway tomorrow. And then it's the South Park Eagles, who are 2-5. KO and Steel Valley each 1-8. Gators 4-2 in Section 2. As Jackson Claypool serves for Armstrong, who leads 15-8 here in set 2. Gators winning set 1. And Armstrong with 4 hits. Bunch of Riverhawks got all bunched up right near the net. Confusion abounds, and the error allows Mark DePalma to serve for the Gators. And DePalma strongly hits that one, too strong. As a serve or a sub in is Aiden McKay for Armstrong, as Rafe Hankey will serve. Lead at 7 for the Riverhawks. Attack for the Gators, Pawlowski. Rosenberger with the attack for the Riverhawks. Rosenberger with the block at the net, but he can't get the block cleanly. Out of bounds it goes, so it'll be a Gators kill. And that'll set up Pasalinkwa to serve for Gateway. Serve a little short for Gateway. That sends the Riverhawks awry, and a nice attack there on that far side by Gateway's Darius Farrar. And Riverhawks not able to block it cleanly, not keeping the hands together. The block falls down to the floor and knocked under the net. And another error as they try to set up Rosenberger on that far boundary into the net. The set goes, and the Gators down by 4 now. So Gateway having to climb themselves out of a hole for the second straight set. Attack by Rosenberger. And it will be Armstrong point as the Gators tried to block it back the other way, but Farrar's block carries out of bounds, so a kill for Rosenberger, who now serves. Strong net presence for Armstrong. Farrar for the Gators, his attack too strong. And the lead back at 6 for Armstrong. We're going to have to replay the serve. As the toss went up and went forward for Rosenberger, and he knew it was going to carry him across that line. Would have been an error, but instead replay the serve. And here come the Gators with the attack. And that one a beauty by Darius Farrar. Broke down 2 Riverhawks along the net. Went off the top of the head of Aiden McKay. And the Gators will serve. It's Jace Beam. Dug up by the Riverhawks after the Beam serve. Beam with the dig. Farrar attacks with the left. Knocked back. Armstrong had to scramble. Beam brings it near side. Feigning the strong attack for Gateway, and then coming through with the big soft kill was Diego Valentin Pitri. And the Gators down by 4 again. They're still trying to eclipse a lead that Armstrong built early on. Knocked over by the libero. The Gators libero keeps it up. Hanging in the air, Jacob Pawlowski for Gateway knocks it down over that front line, and a timeout taken by Armstrong as the Riverhawks going to talk here as Gateway has cut the deficit down to 3, 18-15. Talked about Gateway a season ago winning their section for the first time since 1986. So able to add a section title, the banner across the gym. Defeated Keystone Oaks 3-0 in round 1 of the WPIAL playoffs a year ago. Then fell in the quarterfinals to the Ambridge Bridgers. But like Coach Randolph talked about before the game during the senior ceremony, he was just happy to see a trophy and some accolades for his boys volleyball team that has worked so hard and made their way back into a WPIAL, a competitive WPIAL team. Attack goes long for the Riverhawks. I believe that was Jonas Starr with the attack too strong. That keeps Jace Beam back there to serve as the Gators down by just 2 now. Attack comes near side, dug up by Williams. And the Gators with the error. As that dig carried the Gators too close to the net, they weren't able to do anything with it. Point for Armstrong, and Sam Jacobs, the libero, will serve. Serve into the net. So an error by the Riverhawks gives the Gators an opportunity to serve. Down by 2 again, 19-17. It's Andre Williams, the Gators libero. Nice dig for Gateway. Farrar with the attack. Kept up by the Riverhawks. And a point for Armstrong. Kill for Brendan Savinda. And checking in to serve, Sam Dosh. Lead at 3 for Armstrong. Williams the dig. Farrar the attack, goes up with the right, finds a gap, takes advantage. And Farrar will serve for Gateway. As the Gators sub in, Pasalinkwa returns. Farrar trying to drop that one in. Armstrong has to dig it up and over. Battle at the net now. Late whistle on the double, but still a double nonetheless. I think it was Pasalinkwa the guilty party. And Armstrong lead at 3, 21-18. And serving will be Brendan Savinda. Dug by Pasalinkwa. Spinning it back where the Gators attack. Falls short on the set the other way. So a protracted kill for the Gators, Diego Valentin Pitri. And it's William Hansman to serve for Gateway, down by 2. Gators have brought it within 2 a couple of times, but Gateway has answered back once it got there. Excuse me, Armstrong has answered back. This time, serve into the net, or rather a attack into the net by Armstrong. And it's a 1-point game, 21-20 Armstrong. And again, it's Hansman to serve, an opportunity to tie this one. Served into the net though, and the lead back at 2 for Armstrong. Another inch or 2, that could have dropped over the net for an ace. Instead, it's a point for the Riverhawks, and they're just 3 away from winning the set. Knocked up by the Gators. Knocked Pasalinkwa. Big kill there as he seemed to hang in the air for a long, long time. There was just one blue jersey in the vicinity. And the Gators will serve. It's Mark DePalma to serve with the Gators down 1, 22-21. Strong net presence for the Gators. Knocks an attack back to Armstrong. Gateway, dig, set, attack. Another strong net of presence for Riverhawks. The Gators have to dig it over this time to keep the ball alive and keep this rally going. Error by the Riverhawks, and they are all over the net. And we've got ourselves a tie game. Jonas Starr in the net for Armstrong, and we're tied at 22-all. Mark DePalma will serve. DePalma knuckles that one in. Armstrong looks to attack back the other way. Blocked at the net by the Gators. Kept up by Gateway. Pasalinkwa with the attack. Finds an open space, and the Gators take their first lead in this set, 23-22. So the Gators storm back, take the lead, and have an opportunity to continue this run. And a timeout taken by Armstrong. The Gators definitely happy with the way they've been able to storm back after facing a significant deficit here in this second set. They've clawed their way back a couple of times and finally have claimed a lead 23-22 after winning the first set handily. They found themselves behind early, but then were able to recover and take the lead and never look back in that first frame. Things a bit different here in set number 2. Again, looking forward for the Gateway Gators. They're at Deer Lakes on Thursday, then at home next Tuesday against Latrobe, then wrap up their regular season at Mars next Thursday. Meanwhile, Armstrong takes on Deer Lakes and Latrobe to finish up their regular season. Still looking for their first win in conference play are the Armstrong Riverhawks. So Gateway serves here. It's Mark DePalma. Gateway with one timeout remaining. Armstrong has used both of theirs. Good attack there for Nathan Rosenberger. Found a big open space in the Gators' floor. And we're tied at 23 all as Rafe Henke will serve. Winner of this point goes to set point. Henke the serve. Drops it in. Dug over by Williams. Attack by Rosenberger. Caroms off the hands of a Gator. And it's set point for Armstrong, as it will be Henke serving. Dug by the Gators after the Henke serve. Pasalinkwa pounds that one. Dug up by Armstrong. We're tied at 24, so we've got some bonus volleyball coming. As we're tied at 24 apiece, and it's number 24 for the Gators, the senior Noah Pasalinkwa serving. Pasalinkwa dropping that one over the net to Armstrong. Block for the Gators. Going up strong, Darius Farrar, as he absorbed the big blow by Rosenberger. And the Gators have set point now, as it's Pasalinkwa to serve. Gateway up 25-24. Spins in for the Gators. And the attack by Rosenberger hits off of a Gator hand and carries across the back line. And Rosenberger will now serve as we're tied at 25 apiece. Rosenberger's now going to sub out, and it will be Max Fermani to check in, the 5'8" sophomore defensive specialist here today, listed as a libero traditionally. Mocked up by the Gators. Sleight of hand by Jace Beam at the net. Caught the Riverhawks sleeping, and Gateway again with set point, and Beam will serve after the trickery. Beam serve, an ace, and Gateway wins set number 2, 27-25, as the Gators storm back and claim the advantage. 3-minute intermission. We'll take a pause too. Back with set number 3. It's the Gateway Gators leading the Armstrong Riverhawks 2-0 here on GatewayGatorProductions.com. Gateway to serve to begin set number 3 here at Gateway High School. Gateway leading the Armstrong Riverhawks 2-0. Darius Farrar with the first serve for the Gators. Armstrong has knocked it back twice. The Gators keeping it alive. Dug up and over by Farrar. Block at the net by the Gators. Again, Gateway keeps it up at the net. Dug up by the Riverhawks. Attack for Rosenberger. And Dunsmore will spike it down for the Gators. Alec Dunsmore, 6'1", junior, middle hitter for Gateway, returns to the lineup, sat out the entire second set as Farrar continues to serve for Gateway, as Gateway, for the first time today, takes an early lead in a set. Dug up by the Riverhawks. Gateway keeping it up in the air as Keegan Kuiper now wears the libero jersey for Gateway. Far corner goes Rafe Henke, his attack too strong. Error by the Riverhawks. Gateway up 2-0. Adam Gusky on the call for you this evening here on GatewayGatorProductions.com, sitting in for Spencer Witt, who will be back on the call as the Gators take on the Latrobe Wildcats next Tuesday night. Beautiful serve by Farrar. But it was kept up by Armstrong, and Nathan Rosenberger finishes it off for the Riverhawks. And serving for Armstrong will be Jackson Claypool. Pasalinkwa the attack. And he handcuffs Brendan Savinda. And Pasalinkwa with that kill for the Gators gives Gateway a 3-1 advantage. As Jace Beam serves for the Gators. Served up, or rather set up by Armstrong, and a lift by the Riverhawks. And an error by the visitors gives Gateway a 3-point lead, 4-1. Beam the serve. Attack Rosenberger. Gateway gets it up in the air. Attack by Pasalinkwa. Dunsmore tries to spike that one, or rather dunk that one like a basketball. And he and Coach Phil Randolph concur, too much like a dunk, not enough like a volleyball push. And the lift by the Gators gives Armstrong 2 points here in this set, and that the attack by Pasalinkwa carries too strong, and an error by Gateway. Rafe Hankey to serve. Hankey serves into the net. Gators lead back at 2, 5-3. Talked about it already, but Keegan Kuiper, he now wears the libero jersey, number 11 for Gateway. Dug up by the Riverhawks. Attack by Rosenberger and a kill for Lucas Rosenberger. Rosenberger will serve. He was subbed out at the end of the second set in favor of Max Fermani to serve, but he will serve that time. Up and over it goes. Attack to the far corner by the Gators, Jacob Pulowski. But that one carries out, and we're tied at 5 apiece. So Armstrong has stemmed the tide, and we're tied. And an ace for the Riverhawks. As Gateway watched that one served onto the tape by Nathan Rosenberger and found its way over the net instead of back the other way. First lead here in set 3 for the visiting Riverhawks. Pasalinkwa with the attack for Gateway. Hankey with the set. Attacked by Savinda into the corner. Riverhawks up by 2, 7-5. Rosenberger will continue to serve. Kuiper digs it up. Attack Pasalinkwa. Good positioning by Jacobs, the libero, to dig it up. And a kill for Armstrong as that one finds its way inside of the back line. And Armstrong on a run here, up 8-5. Rosenberger continues to serve. That one into the net, and an error ends the run for the Armstrong Riverhawks. And subbing in is Max Fermani for the visitors, and serving for the Gators is Noah Pasalinkwa, who's looked so good as an outside hitter on that left-hand side. Teardropped up and over for Armstrong as they get the serve right back, getting that side out. Pasalinkwa heads to the bench as Williams returns for Gateway. And the libero on the other side, Sam Jacobs, serves for Armstrong. Farrar with the attack. And the kill for the Gators. Right into 4 arms of the Riverhawks, but the angle knocked the ball right back the other way. And the Gators will serve. Trying to push that one down over the net was Jackson Claypool to no avail. And Will Hansman will continue to serve for Gateway. Comes near side. Dug up twice by the Gators, and somehow they're able to dig it over the net. Attacked by the Riverhawks. And the Gators not anticipating well. Claypool knocks it over. Got the point initially, but the official, the R2 on the far side, says a Riverhawk under the net. And that net fault gives the Gators a point, and we're tied at 9 apiece as the official irons everything out with the Armstrong bench far side. Attack goes to the back line. The Gators push that one down and in. Jacob Pulowski. So the kill for Pulowski, and the Gators reclaim the lead 10-9. And not only was that serve shorted, it went into the back of teammate Darius Farrar. And a sub in for the Armstrong Riverhawks as Sam Dosh will check in and serve. Dug up by Gateway. Push far side, Farrar. Into 2 Riverhawks. And again, Farrar with the kill on that left side. Pulowski now to serve for Gateway. Blocked by Dunsmore. As that one inside of that far boundary. And Gateway their lead 12-10. Strong attack goes back line. Claypool found a big opening in that back corner. No Gators in the vicinity. And Armstrong will serve. It'll be Brendan Savinda, 6'1" sophomore, serving for the Armstrong Riverhawks. Dunsmore kills that one right into 2 Riverhawks, and right in the center was Jackson Claypool, who showed some frustration as he had to absorb that one from Alec Dunsmore. And Darius Farrar will serve for the Gators. Gateway up 2, 13-11. Attacked by Claypool. Carries wide to the near side. And Farrar continues to serve as the Gators advantage is 3. Strong attack and a point for Nathan Rosenberger for the Armstrong Riverhawks. And stepping back will be Jackson Claypool to serve after the sub in for the visitors. Served by Claypool. Dig, set, attack, Passalinqua. Dug up by the Riverhawks. Rosenberger with the attack. Locked up by the Gators. Going from right to left. Jace Beam playing that right side. Gets the kill to the far side left. And Beam rewarded with getting to serve after getting that kill as the ball actually rolls out into the hallway. Here at the Henry Fury Sports Complex. Looked like Rafe Hankey was going to go up for a high set. Instead, he decides to take his left hand and push it over the net, giving Armstrong a point. And the Riverhawks with a 2-point deficit, 15-13. Dug by Gateway. Far side, Passalinqua. Late whistle, but a double nonetheless. I'll say a lift. It certainly seemed like, if anything in that circumstance, could have been a double. But regardless, it's a point for Armstrong, and their deficit is just 1 15-14, down 2-0. Up high by Beam. Dunsmore with the attack. Armstrong in the net. And they say it's Aiden McKay in the net for the Riverhawks, as Keegan Kuiper, libero for the Gators, will serve. Two digs and a right-hand pushover by McKay. Attack at the net by Pulowski, able to get that one to carry right to left across the hands of two Riverhawks. And the Gators stretch their lead back to 3, 17-14 here in set 3. And there's that one. Very strong hit by Nathan Rosenberger. The Gators dug it up, and they raced as far as they could to try to get it, but the ball carried up into the HVAC vents and bounced all the way into the crowd. That'll give Nathan Rosenberger an opportunity to serve for Armstrong. Pasalinkwa, sky high, and knocks that one down to the hardwood. Both teams to sub in. As checking in for Gateway will be Darius Farrar, as Pasalinkwa will serve for Gateway. Hanging kill, Jonas Starr. Nice job at the net for the Riverhawks. The Gators going to sub in again. This time they'll sub senior for seniors. Andre Williams checks in. Pasalinkwa to the bench. And Sam Jacobs, the libero, serves for the visiting Riverhawks, down by 2. High. And again, a beautiful job by Farrar, angling to that far boundary. Finds two Riverhawks at the net, and the way he hits that ball from that left side angle off of those two Riverhawks, it's destined to carry to that far side for a point for the Gators. 3-point lead right now for Gateway, as Gateway had a chance there. It was actually chested up and over, but carried wide by William Hansman. Certainly seen stranger things happen in the game of volleyball than one chested up and over the net for a point. But now it's Dosh, the number 4 for the visitors, with the serve. Gateway knocks it left to right once, now twice. Farrar not able to get the kill that time. Pounds that one hard. Bell now Farrar pushing one to the middle of the floor. Two Gators at the net, but their block carries out of bounds. So a kill for the Riverhawks cuts the Gators lead down to 1, 19-18 here in set 3. Dosh with the serve. Armstrong keeping it alive. Again, good net presence by the Riverhawks. But that time, Gateway able to use some trickery. Set up and over by Farrar into the hands of two Riverhawks, and the ball spun out of their hands and found its way to the floor near side at the net. Served by Gateway's Pulowski. Dunsmore with a big swing. Knocks it too strong. And a point for the Riverhawks. And Armstrong down by just 1 again, 20-19. Serving is Brendan Savinda. Rosenberger back in as Savinda will serve. Dug by Williams. Now it's Beam. Farrar the attack. Two Riverhawks at the net and the block. Hankey involved also in there, Jackson Claypool, and we're tied at 20-all. Savinda to serve again. Savinda's serve goes back line. Far side Farrar pushes it with the right. Kept up by Dunsmore and Farrar. Williams now with the save. Armstrong with some desperation. The Gators on the attack. And a block finds its way along that line, and Armstrong claims the lead, 21-20 in this nip and tuck event late in set number 3. And Philip Randolph and the Gateway Gators take a timeout. Good to have you along with us here on GatewayGatorProductions.com. And as Gateway trailing the Armstrong Riverhawks 21-20. Again, don't forget, next week we're going to have some Gateway volleyball, but before that, tomorrow we're going to have some Gateway lacrosse as you see it live action right there on GatewayGatorProductions.com, our website that has our spring sports of boys volleyball and lacrosse. And of course, we've got archives of our lacrosse matches and our next match listed right there tomorrow against the Trinity Hillers. Our coverage will start live at 5:45, the game at 6 p.m. Of course, you can see our winter sports and our fall sports as well. Archives of those, plus archives of our last couple of graduation broadcasts. 1 point lead for the Riverhawks. Savinda to serve. Williams digs it up. Now it's Beam. Farrar. And now the official's going to talk. As the R2 going to go over to the Gateway linesman over there. As it stands right now, the R1 has awarded the point to the Riverhawks, who have a lead of 22-20. And now the R2 going to come over and talk to the R1 after getting word from him over there to see what had happened. Obviously, we have a different vantage point from across the gym and a higher angle than even the R1 has up here in the press booths at the Gateway High School Gymnasium. Still a conversation between our officials. One big difference between the collegiate game and the high school game is in the high school game, quite often in the JV game, varsity players are your line judges, and in the varsity game, your JV players are your line judges. And after some conversation, the officials do award the point to the Armstrong Riverhawks. It's a 2-point lead for the visitors, 22-20, after Gateway had some commanding advantages here in the third set. Armstrong has stormed back and taken this 2-point advantage. Dunsmore with the attack for the Gators. Now blocked by Gateway. Armstrong keeps it alive, and the attack goes to the back line for Jackson Claypool. Attack for Gateway, knocked up by Armstrong. Block of the net by the Gators. Kept up, though, by Armstrong. Dunsmore with the attack. Now Dunsmore again. Farrar, and 4 hit by the Gators. And not only has Armstrong stormed back to take a lead of 4, it's now set point. And a point for Gateway. Farrar serving. Attack from the back line for Armstrong. They're still on set point. Pass and link with the attack. Kept up by the Riverhawks. Farrar back line the dig. Pass and link again the attack. Finds the open space. 2 Riverhawks close it though. Strong at the net are the Gators. Knocked up by the Riverhawks. Sent over by Gateway. Set twice by the Gators. Pasalinqua sets it over. Riverhawks go with the attack. Claypool with the attack. Dug up by Farrar. Dug again past Lenqua, then Beam digs it over. Attack by the Riverhawks. Now it's Dunsmore trying to push it for the Gators. Comes near side, Rosenberger with the attack, kept up. Past Lenqua. This rally going forever, and out it will go. The officials say a touch by the Riverhawks. The R1 saw a touch by Armstrong, and instead of Armstrong winning the set, it's the Gators who stay alive. Pushed over. Gateway has to scramble, and an error by the Gators. A double hit in the back line by Keegan Kuiper, and that error detrimental as Gateway finds themselves with a lead of just one set now. 2-1 is the score. As Armstrong talks, Gateway will talk too, and we will take a breather. Again, it's the Gators 2 sets. The Armstrong Riverhawks 1, and you're watching it on GatewayGatorProductions.com. Back with set number 4. Gateway Gators boys volleyball team looking for their 5th win in conference over the Armstrong Riverhawks. Gateway's 4-2 on the season. Armstrong has yet to win a game in WPIAL 2A Section 2. Gateway won the first 2 sets, coming from behind in both of those sets. The Gators stormed out to a commanding lead in the 3rd set, but instead it was the Riverhawks clawing back from a deficit to get the victory in set number 3. And we head to set number 4. Armstrong still alive. Brendan Savinda will serve for the visiting Riverhawks. Dug up by Gateway. Beam, Pasalinqua, and the kill. Gateway 1, Armstrong 0 here in set number 4. Beam serves for the Gators. Dug up by the Riverhawks. Attack Rosenberger. 2 Gators were able to stifle it at the net, but no 3rd Gator there to clean things up, and we're tied at 1 apiece. As Jackson Claypool serves for Armstrong. Keegan Kuiper. And a kill. Ryan Hoffner on that far side, able to spin it off the net to the near boundary. And it stays in bounds. A point for the Gators. Gateway 2, Armstrong 1. As Kuiper serves. Dug up high by the Gators. Pasalinqua with the attack. Blocked at the net by Armstrong. Again, Pasalinqua with the attack. This time splits defenders. Backline attack. Carries long. The error by Savinda. The point for the Gators. Again, it's Kuiper to serve. Gateway having a tough time with it after it was knocked up and over by Armstrong. And back to a 1-point lead for Gateway, 3-2. As Rafe Hankey is going to serve. Gateway on the attack. Goes back line for Hoffner. Knocked over by Starr. Far side Pasalinqua on the attack. Kept up by Armstrong. Attack Rosenberger. Dug up by the Gators. Chase Anthony. Knocked to the far side. Kept up by Armstrong. Kuiper with the back line dig. Far side again, Pasalinqua. Pushes this one short. Riverhawks anticipating a big swing, instead the soft push. And that crosses up Jonas Starr. Point for the Gators, and Pasalinqua will serve. Gateway up 4-2. The Gators sub Anthony out. Checking in is Valentin Pitry. Attack goes back line for Valentin Pitry. Gators strong at the net, but again, no help coming from the side from Hoffner. And a lead at 1 again, as it's Nathan Rosenberger to serve for Armstrong. Dug high by Gateway. And a strong net presence and a block. Jonas Starr for the Riverhawks. Tied at 4 apiece. Rosenberger, the 6'5" junior with the serve. Goes back line. Far side Valentin Pitry. And he'll get the kill. And the Riverhawks not able to set that one and turn it into something. Both teams going to substitute in. Subbing in for the Gators is Will Hansman. Armstrong brought in a player as well. Now Hansman will serve for Gateway. Comes near side. Armstrong looking for the touch. The official far side, the R2 says a touch by the Gators. I do concur. I thought I heard it. So give the kill to Brendan Savinda, the point for Armstrong. And we're tied at 5-all. Sam Jacobs, the libero, serves. Blocked at the net by the Riverhawks. Gateway with an error. Point for Armstrong, and they have their first lead here in the 4th set. Third set was the deciding set. This 4th set could be the deciding set. Gateway trying to make sure they do that. Meanwhile, Armstrong trying to avoid that. Again, strong net for the Riverhawks. Heady play there by Gateway's Mark DePalma. Stayed with it, went up, pushed it strong to the back line, and a point for the Gators. Mark DePalma now will serve for Gateway. 6'2" middle hitter for the Gators. Spinning serve, set up, comes near side. Attack into the net by Savinda, error by Armstrong. So DePalma again will serve. This one carries long. Libero in for the Gators, a sub in as well for Armstrong is checking in. Sam Dosh, who will serve. Passing link with a dig. Set by Beam. Attack for the Gators. Santo with that last attack for Gateway. Attack by Armstrong. Gateway has to set it over. Attack at the middle by Jackson Claypool, but he knocks it wide. He didn't hit that one squarely, and it's spun to the near boundary. Error by the Riverhawks. Point for the Gateway Gators. As subbing in is Chase Anthony to serve. Strong net again by the Gators. That was a 4 hit by Armstrong. That was set up by the Gators with the block. Net to the right. And Anthony again to serve. Far side, Pasalinqua. Attack for the Gators, Santo. Aaron dig by Gateway carries all the way to the back line. Knocked up high though. Attack carries long. The officials confer no touch by Gateway, error by the Riverhawks. Serving error by Gateway, and Armstrong having the deficit cut down to 2 with the Gateway error. Serving for Armstrong, Brendan Savinda. Dug by Hansman. Beam with the attack. Dug up again by Gateway. Beam leaves it back. Pasalinkwa the attack. Good dig by the Riverhawks. But after the dig, Armstrong not able to do anything with it as they knock it near boundary. Gators lead is 3, 11-8. And speaking of 8, it's Jace Beam to serve as the Gators sub in Ryan Hoffner. Beam the serve. Set high, Rosenberger with the attack and a kill for Armstrong. Jackson Claypool will serve. 6'6" senior middle blocker for the Riverhawks. Dug up by Gateway. Hoffner brings it over for the Gators. Rosenberger with the attack. Gateway had the presence at the net initially, then it was dug by Pasalinkwa, but he didn't get any help by Santo. And Armstrong down by just 1 again, 11-10. Serve by Claypool carries long. Service error by the Riverhawks. Point for Gateway, and their lead is back to 2, 12-10. Kuiper serving. Attack on the error, or rather error on the attack by Nathan Rosenberger. Stretches the Gators lead to 3, 13-10. Kuiper again with the serve. Attack carries long by Jonas Starr. I don't know what the conversation is, even from our vantage point, clear out along that far sideline. Gators lead 14-10 as Kuiper continues to serve for Gateway. Nice job by the Riverhawks off the dig on the serve. It found its way to Rafe Hankey, who looked like he was going to set it, but instead took that left hand and pushed it over the net for a Riverhawks point. And Armstrong serves. It is Rafe Hankey to serve. Beam over to Pasalinkwa. Dug up by the Riverhawks. Rosenberger the attack. Carries long. Error by Armstrong. Point for the Gators. Gateway up 15-11 as Noah Pasalinkwa will serve. Pasalinkwa the serve. And a big attack by Nathan Rosenberger. Handcuffs Keegan Kuiper. Kuiper did his best to try to dig it up to no avail. Rosenberger the server. 2 Gators there on the dig and end up having to dig it over. An attack and a kill for Armstrong. Rosenberger strong serve dug up by the Gators. Attack for Gateway's Hoffner. Attack for Savinda for the visitors. Dig goes awry by Pasalinkwa. Not much Valentin Pitry could have done with it. And Gateway. Head coach Philip Randolph takes a timeout as the Gators lead was 4. A mini 3-0 run by Armstrong, and a smart time to talk things over here. Take a minute to talk strategy, calm things down, and slow that run for the Armstrong Riverhawks. Talked about it earlier today. Randolph, the head coach of Gateway volleyball teams, and an English teacher here at Gateway High School. His team set to travel to Deer Lakes on Thursday for hosting Latrobe next Tuesday. And they're taking on the Mars Planets on the road, taking a long trip next Thursday. Rosenberger serving. Lead at 1 for the Gators. Serve into the net and the lead at 2 for Gateway. Will Hansman now will serve. Setter and opposite hitter, the 5'10 junior. Dug over by Armstrong. Beam with the attack. Stopped at the net by Armstrong. Dug over by the Gators, Keegan Kuiper, but he digs it too long. And the lead remains at 1 for Gateway again. On a Gateway error. That sets up Sam Jacobs, a libero, to serve. Attack for Gateway at the line by DePalma. Kept up last minute by the Riverhawks. Good block by Armstrong. This time, Valentin Pitry unable to get the kill. Sky high it goes. Dug back line, Kuiper. Dug over by the Gators. Soft attack goes back line. Valentin Pitry with the kill. Stays up by the Riverhawks. And then an attack into the net by Brendan Savinda. On the lead back at 2 for Gateway. Mark DePalma will serve for the Gators. DePalma carries all the way towards that back line. Knocked up and a good attack. As Brendan Savinda finds an area to knock that one over for Gateway. Sam Dosh serves. 1 point lead for the Gators. Carries back line. And a heady play. Jace Beam could sense he had no Riverhawks behind him at the net. Just tipped it back over. And a point for Gators. And Gateway up by 2, 18-16. As checking back in is Chase Anthony to serve for the Gators. Attack and a kill for Armstrong. Jackson Claypool, the 6'6" senior, with that kill. And that sends up Brendan Savinda to serve. Savinda, 6'1" sophomore, dug up. Attack and a kill for the Gators. Going up, Jake Santos, 6'4" junior, with the kill for the Gators. Ball carried all the way back into the hallway near corner. So they'll bring out a fresh ball for the Gators to serve with, as it's Jace Beam to serve for Gateway. Into the net for Jackson Claypool. Beam continues to serve as the Gators lead is 3, 20-17. Battle at the net, and Armstrong wins the battle. As Jake Santo couldn't push it forward for Gateway, a point for the Riverhawks. And Armstrong serving is Jackson Claypool. Claypool serve. Knocked up by Kuiper, beam to Pasalinkwa, whose attack carries too strong. And the Gators lead is at 1, 20-19. Dig by Pasalinkwa, now Beam. And a big attack and a point for the Gators as Ryan Hoffner kills that one for Gateway off of the block. Kuiper to serve for the Gators, up 2, 21-19. Attack Rosenberger. Knocked high by Kuiper. Kuiper has to dig it over after getting some help. Block at the net by the Gators. As the attack by Starr, the Gators stymie that one at the net. Hoffner involved in that last block, also in there, De Palma. Lead at 3 for the Gators. Error by the Riverhawks. They're whistled for the lift. Gateway 2 points away, and a timeout is taken by Armstrong. As Gateway just 2 points away from winning conference match number 5. Coming into today, Latrobe and Mars already have 5 wins in conference play. Mars with 1 loss in the league. That coming to the Latrobe Wildcats, who are undefeated 5-0. Gateway, their lone losses this year in conference coming to Latrobe and Mars. We already talked about Gateway losing to Mars in 5 sets a couple of weeks ago on this floor. We had the broadcast of that one. Speaking of broadcast, we apologized last week, not able to bring you a broadcast of Gateway Volleyball like we had anticipated. The lacrosse match against, or excuse me, the volleyball match against the McKeesport Tigers that was scheduled for Tuesday at initially 6 p.m. was moved back to 5 p.m. It was just too early for our crew to get ready for that one, so the change in schedule didn't allow us to bring you a broadcast last week, so we're going to bring you 2 this week. Volleyball tonight, lacrosse tomorrow. Four-point lead for the Gators. Served by Kuiper, attacked by Rosenberger. He elbows it up. Far side it goes. Set over by the Riverhawks. Kuiper with the dig. Pasalinqua. Long attack. Dug up and kept alive by the Riverhawks. Attack again, Rosenberger. The Gators stifle that one at the line. Knock to the back line. Kuiper. Far side it goes. Pasalinqua. And Pasalinqua with the kill, as Savinda couldn't get the dig up. And Gateway with match point. Timeout taken by the R2. The R2 over there talking to the official. And she says she has the timeout, so she's going to use it. So a little wind out of the sails on set point and the serve. As the Armstrong bench talks strategy, as does the Gateway bench. Again, looking in the rearview mirror for both of these teams, last Thursday, the Gateway Gators were at Darien, won 3-1. Armstrong lost on the road at Mars, 3-2. Armstrong also participated in the Hempfield tournament. Talked about looking forward now. Boys lacrosse tomorrow night. Face-off scheduled for 6 o'clock. We'll go live at around 5:45. And then next Tuesday, we'll go live at 6:45. For a first serve scheduled at 7. As Kuiper the serve. Dug up by the Riverhawks. Attack Rosenberger. Dug up by the Gators, Anthony. Dug again by Beam. Attack by Gateway, and the kill for Ryan Hoffner. And the Gateway Gators win set number 4, 25-19, and win the match 3-1 to improve their record to 5-2 in WPIAL 2A Section 2. Meanwhile, the Armstrong Riverhawks see their record fall to 0-7. Again, Gateway winning this one 3-1 here at Gateway High School. We thank you for joining us this evening. The Gateway Gators had their work cut out for them in sets 1 and 2, where they had to dig out of some holes. They took a strong lead in the 3rd set, but watch the Armstrong Riverhawks storm back. It was back and forth in set number 4, but then the Gators gained control in the latter stages of that 4th set and won it in convincing fashion to win this match 3-1, and again improve their record to 5-2 within WPIAL 2A Section 2. Meanwhile, it is the Armstrong Riverhawks following 2-7. We want to thank you for joining us this evening and thank our crew this evening, including our director, Lee Schaefer, and the rest of our crew. I'm Adam Gusky, thanking you for joining us. Talk to you again tomorrow as the Gateway Gators boys lacrosse team takes on the Trinity Hillers, and you'll see it all right here on GatewayGatorProductions.com.